Right now we are in Castellon de la Plana, and we are going to be heading towards Valencia, which is the third biggest city in Spain. Castellon's definitely not one of the biggest. Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia. And this is only going to be kind of a short train ride over, so I think it's like an hour and a half or something like that. This will be my first time on Spanish trains, so let's go and see what we can find. When I got here, I tried some of the oranges Jordi gave me, and they're absolutely amazing. And we were going right by, those are all orange trees over there, or mandarins. And yeah, it's way better than any of these Valencian origins I've had, like in Poland or anywhere else. We're getting close to Valencia, and Jordi is trying to call to reserve some restaurant because, oh, okay, Jordi's had paella before, but I haven't. And paella is from this region, so that's going to be one of the goals today, to actually find some genuine Valencian paella. We are in the train station now and are greeted by this pretty impressive thing. So apparently, this is just wacky to me. Like, someone goes in there and like dances around, and it's just like kind of some giant walking around. People do it with a horse here too, and I guess these ones aren't breathing fire, but in some parades they'll have something like this. So these are, I guess, for some sort of parades in the summer usually, you're saying? Or
yeah, or for festivities essentially. Festivities of the city, they are going to be showing them.
It's another one of the giants. I love the turtle though, that guy's pretty cool. We're out in the sun, and I'm pale and blonde, and even though I put, you know, I have sunscreen on, it's still really uncomfortable in the sun. So I have this. I mean, it's I've done this before when we're out. Basically, I'm just going to be like kind of like little Michael Jackson for a while. I know I'm going to keep doing this in my videos, probably in Spain. So we are outside of the train station, and this is absolutely beautiful. This is merry-go-round over there. We are in the square of the City Hall of Valencia. And I just want to say a little more why we're just doing this as a day trip, because we went on booking.com and we're just looking even for like the most basic possible hotels to spend the night, because I figured, okay, we can do the city a lot better if we're not rushing to get kind of back and forth. And I'm not making this up, just for like a bed in a hostel with I think like 8 people in the room, 60 euros. It was just absolutely insane. And if we want something more reasonable, the price just went way, way, way up. This church is really interesting. Like, look up there, the sort of architecture. It's very different than what I'm used to. Yeah, right next to this church, once again, look at the architecture on that. Like, really, really cool. I like that. There's also a nice place here to buy like fruit and meat and stuff, but it's closed on Sunday. This is the central market of Valencia, and I think you kind of need to get here a little early, as best I can check. See, right now it looks like it's only open from 8 until 2:30 on Monday through Saturday. I'll put in the subtitles if that's incorrect. We're on our way to this paella place. Found a living shoe store. That's the shoes are alive. Like, I'm trying to like figure out. It's like you have like maybe some frogs that like you put your foot in their mouth and they walk on hop. I'm not really sure. Someone can explain this to me. I'd appreciate it. We intentionally found a restaurant away from the old town where the tourists are going to go. So Jordi says that they're going to be more likely to have, you know, good quality food that's aimed at the locals. And this was, we're in Arroceria Terra y Mar, which is Valencian. It's for land and sea, something like this. And we have cochillas. These are like some sort of mussels.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a little warm. I have, you know, I am not an adventurous eater. I've never actually had anything like this, so we'll see what happens. And then I'm gonna get some Valencian paella. So by my standards, this is very much stepping outside of my comfort zone. For Jordi, I think it's no big deal. But
It's very traditional food.
All right. So I'm learning how to eat these. So you open this up and you just do that? Okay. You take the shell home as a souvenir? No?
No.
So we will see what this is first time. It looks kind of like a cashew, actually. I don't know. All right. I have no idea what I'm thinking right now. This is totally new. I'll give my point of view right now, and it's strange. It's very, very strange. I don't think I would go out of my way to eat this, but it's okay. Maybe I'll change my opinion when I have a few more, but I'm not like, disgusted over it, but it is a little strange. I finished my mussels and the Valencian paella came out. And yeah, I have no idea what to make of it. We'll see. I guess that's rabbit maybe, or
It's rabbit, chicken, snails.
rabbit, chicken, snails, and rice and vegetables. So we'll see what happens. This rice and vegetables and. Yeah, this is different than I'm used to. You know, still okay. It's not as different as the mussels were, but like the spices and things are a little different. Getting more used to it. You know, I don't know. I don't even watch any food vlogging channels. So I have no idea what people normally say. Definitely don't watch me for that, but we might as well do this while we're here. And I am getting more used to this as it's going on. Like it was a little bit different of a taste, but I think my taste buds are adjusting to it much quicker than those mussels, which I'm still confused over. Either someone's 18th or 81st birthday, I'm not sure which. Well, she enjoys her birthday. I'll try a little bit of rabbit. I think I had a little bit several years ago. We'll see. Tastes like chicken. Free on the house, limoncello. And I only know about this from a math conference in Buenos Aires in Argentina. They were giving us a bunch of these after at the dinner. So,
Cheers.
Cheers. Signor Jordi has noticed that hablo español, quiere pie alcohol. Now I'm mixing Polish and Spanish together. I think Jordi wants me to speak Spanish.
He can talk Spanish when he's drunk. So he starts to be a little bit drunk. So he's starting to speak some Spanish words. Not much sense, no grammatical sounds at all, but he's speaking some Spanish words.
Yo soy increíble, médico.
He's not a medical doctor, but still he's a PhD, so it's correct.
Me gusta mucho telenovelas. Telenovelas grandes con rinocerontes y osos y monos. See?
I haven't seen those TV shows.
Los monos viven en la ventana y refrigeradora.
Do you even know what you said?
Yeah, I said the monkeys live in the windows and in the refrigerator.
Yes, you said that. Okay.
Yes, I did.
I'm actually impressed.
We found something very interesting. This is one of the few things I wanted to go to for sure. This is a Gulliver's Park. Of course, reference Gulliver's Travel. You even have the sword and everything down there. And it's unfortunately being reconstructed because this looks really cool. Like, I'd love to even play on this right now. And another thing that's just really interesting to me, this whole stretch here, it goes really very far. This is where the Pollería River, which goes through Valencia, used to go through, and they just totally rerouted the river to make the harbor bigger. The giant Gulliver playground isn't the only cool thing here. We have this apparently free putt-putt golf course. And this was really fashionable and popular in the United States when I was a kid, and now I think it just doesn't really even exist anymore. And I think you can just, yeah, if you bring your own club and your balls and stuff, then you just play it. Normally when you see El Diablo, you know that he's up to no good. And he's looking right at this opera house due to the architect Calatrava. And apparently this stuff on the side used to be there was falling off, and apparently there's some other stuff that this architect has done that's kind of turned out to be a little, you know, beautiful but a little bit impractical. Like there was this glass bridge he made where people were just slipping and falling and literally breaking their bones. So I don't know, maybe he's in cahoots with El Diablo. Maybe this is another one of Calatrava's bridges we need to be careful about crossing. It's definitely still a very nice building, though. Was it too much?
Not really, but they just fell wrongly.
Old bones can't take it anymore?
They can take it. They just almost fell.
We'll see what happens with the influence of El Diablo. So, uno, dos, tres. And here we are, a bit closer. They have a huge science museum over here. Look at this grandiose thing, and it keeps going that way for quite a while. Just in case you forget which city you're in. It's back to the Opera House, and I guess that's something like an IMAX theater. So this looks, I mean, this is just a really nice, huge area like this. We're not gonna have time to really go in these buildings and explore, but probably this is definitely something you can take your family to. One thing that's not in most of Europe that's actually around here that's really useful are these little water fountains. I would never see something like this in Poland, or maybe very rarely, so this is really helpful. I actually took a little nap on this park bench because we've been walking around, and I know I keep complaining about the kind of hot and sunny weather, so I just kind of was tired. So I was out for about 15 minutes. I always feel way more energetic. This is kind of just a random thing I wasn't expecting. So I went actually to a Catholic junior high school, or K through 8, back in Detroit, named St. Vincent Ferrer, and I was just randomly reading this up here. It's Casa, how do you say that?
Casa Natalicia de San Vicente Ferrer.
So he was born here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was born here. So, and I actually just looked it up on Wikipedia. So apparently he's from Valencia. So just a little accident there. I'm sure I read that many years ago and had no plans that I'd ever be in Valencia. And now I'm here. St. Vincent. It's the street of St. Vincent. Oh. They threw some candy. The kids threw candy at us.
It's just, it's bread.
Bread, all right. Oh, Polo Parque, you're gonna love this.
And they're actually also throwing candy.
At everybody.
Like we are not old enough, we are not young enough, so we only deserve bread.
We only get bread. All the parade stuff was totally unplanned. I just had to actually video call a couple friends back at home to say, like, from this school. And it's a really tiny school. I had literally 16 people in my 8th grade graduating class. We do got to move quickly because we still got to catch this train back to Castellon. And I'm actually feeling a lot better as the day's going on. Like, this is, generally I'm doing better at night. Jordy not doing so good at night. It's the opposite. And the sun's going down, so I'm feeling great. We're gonna walk through this cathedral, but I'm not gonna talk because there's some mass going on, so I'll just show you what's in here. Bit of a contrast to what we're talking about before. So this is one of the things Jordy was telling me about. I think he wants to maybe not be in the video, I don't know, but this is apparently some like penis themed ice cream, and it's supposed to be funny. So I'm gonna check this out, and there's still some people with the traditional costumes from the parade here that apparently want it. So we can get a Dick Waffle, Dick Ice Lolly, and I think this is saying how wet do you like it? Obviously the other part, so we'll see which one we order today. So I want a Dick Waffle. So it's one of these things, right?
Yeah, you want a big dick from Africa, Latin, Spain, or England?
Let's go with this one, maybe.
African cock?
Yeah, we'll go African.
Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah.
You like it?
I like it a lot. Okay. You got the rubber gloves ready?
Yeah. It's too tiny.
You want it bigger?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. You want a big dick from Africa?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Deeper?
Deeper.
Yeah.
All the way, all the way.
All the way? Like this?
Yeah, once more, all the way
With
in.
the balls?
Yeah, with balls deep.
Oh my god. You're naughty. And you want a this?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
You want?
I want all that.
Enjoy your African cock.
I will.
Take this. It's juicy.
Just to clean off, just in case.
Yes.
That was pretty ridiculous, so I have to Jordy wanted normal ice cream, so he's just going over there to get something instead. So that was kind of a funny novelty place. I somehow think I've seen that in another city, but I don't really remember where. So we are really running out of time, and there's some apparently interesting neighborhood that Jordy wants to take me to, and then we got to catch a bus back to Castellon before we miss the last one. What's the name of this touristic neighborhood we're in now?
El Carmen.
El Carmen, okay. So in El Carmen, we have the gates at the entrance of the city. This was built at the end of the 14th century. So of course things looked a lot different back then. It was one of these medieval cities. It was surrounded by walls. And they wanted to keep people out, not take them in now like, you know, for tourist dollars. We're wandering through the streets now looking for another one of these gates. And of course, support for Ukraine, Slava Ukraina. This neighborhood is actually a very different vibe, I think, than some of the others, because we actually do see quite a bit of graffiti. And I think it's the sort of thing like you don't realize that it wasn't there until you actually start seeing it in some places. Kind of interesting peculiarity to Spain here that, and we have this building here, and I guess they're not allowed to demolish the front of it. That has to be preserved. But then the whole back of it, I don't know if you can really see it on the video, but it's completely missing. And they build like another building behind, or extend it beyond, or something like that. And to me, it's kind of strange that you need to like preserve the shell and just kind of leave that there rotting. So I'm not sure this is so much like just like a total touristic neighborhood. Is this more like maybe like a hipster artistic neighborhood? And you can kind of see with some of the stuff here, the references to the bands, and just the general vibe of it. So someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but at least that's kind of my first impressions just walking through here. We made it to the other side of the neighborhood, and we found another gate. This one was finished around 1460, so a little bit later. And I mean, look now, just like it's just kind of really just an artifact of an older time. Because okay, we have this gate here, and it's supposed to be there to keep things out. And what happens when we walk through? We just find really more of the same thing, as far as I can tell. I mean, you got people taking selfies, which you didn't have, you know, back in 1460. So you can just kind of imagine like how different this whole city and this area must have been back then. This is probably more untamed and wild, and you have like the fortress of a place on the inside. One important thing I didn't mention, you know, we're in Valencia, and there's this actually own Valencian language, and from my perspective is very much related to Spanish, and it's also a Latin language. And Jordy pointed out to me that this, and actually many things here, are written in Valencian, and that means in the country of blind people, someone with one eye is a king. We're back where we started. There's a train station behind me. We're going back to Castellon. Valencia, I mean, definitely this is more touristic. Okay, Castellon's not touristic at all. But we saw a lot of European tourists. I think I only heard like one group of people with an American accent. So more British, French, German, you know, and such. I would have recorded some of the train, but I was mostly sleeping. So here's the rest of the train station in Castellon. They seem to be parking a lot of the trains overnight. So I think I'm gonna have to end it today. Walking back. I'm gonna go around Castellon tomorrow finally, you know, because even though I've been staying here for 2 weeks, I haven't really shown like anything specifically here other than the beach. So be sure, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all this sort of stuff. It's very good for the algorithm, and there's still plenty more in Spain coming up.